get the resource as well. Okay,
Sure.
cool. I love that. So you're starting to really see how it all can come together, right? Like you've seen that you can listen to it, you can understand it, which is now building up your confidence as well.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing that resource with us.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Anytime I see something that works, I want you guys to work it. I want you to work it. All right, bienvenidos a todos. Aquí estamos otra vez con Fluency Friday. Okay, ¿me escucha bien? Can you hear me okay? Because I did have a little feedback there. I want to make sure that you guys don't get that feedback. I'm Profesora Chris, a year linguist coach right here at Speak Spanish Easy, where we teach Spanish so fun and easy so that you finally want to learn and you also want to be able to go to that next level and start speaking it, right? So here we are. This is our Fluency Friday that we have set up in our Zoom. So shout out to all of my Zoom fluencers. Let's talk. Vamos a hablar un poco sobre su camino. I'm going to go ahead and add it to our group right now and make sure you guys have access to this. We're going to do Fluency Friday. You guys know I got to do it while we're actually inside of our Zoom. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, so if you are watching us Facebook at our Speak Spanish Easy community on our Facebook group with close to 7,000 amigos there, we want to welcome you. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to invite our TikTokers to join us as well. Because it's always such a great platform to be able to access an opportunity for people to experience Speak Spanish Easy with this level. So I'm going to go ahead and put us on live so you can watch us live on TikTok. And then also too, I will have access to you guys via Zoom so that they can hear you guys as well via Zoom. Okay. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. We're going to go and we're going to see what does it look like inside of our Zoom. So if you're just now joining us and you're like, ¿Qué está pasando? We are having our Fluency Friday and we want you to be a part of it today. Okay, this is an absolutely free class that I give every single week to talk a little bit about myself in regards to how I teach, right? Where we don't go over verb conjugations, we don't go over grammar rules, all of the things that you know about learning Spanish, like just throw it out the window. Like that's not something that we're going over today. What I want you to focus on is how do we go to that next level and we start to speak Spanish, right? We start to build our confidence because we're learning phrases for our world, right? And so a little background of myself, I've been teaching Spanish for the last 20 years. I started Speak Spanish Easy because of my own personal journey, right? You may be looking at me and like you're saying to yourself, well, how is this Black girl speaking Spanish? Like, how is that even possible? ¿Cómo es posible que una persona que puede hablar en español perfectamente como una nativa, right? How can this happen? And I want to just tell you, my dad is from Honduras, Central America. My mom is African-American. She's passed on. But I learned organically. I didn't learn from a textbook. I didn't learn from a language app. I didn't learn from Rosetta Stone, right? I learned by speaking Spanish to my family growing up. So as my dad, my abuelita, my hermanos, when they were speaking Spanish, I was speaking it right with them. And so what had happened and a shift happened within my own life is the reason why I'm coming to you guys today to give you the language codes that I've already cracked wide open for people to learn how to become fluent in Spanish, right? So I headed to high school, you guys. Thought I was about to get an A in Spanish because yo hablo español, pues, right, Dave? And I was saying to myself, this is an easy A. This was happening over here. Vamos a practicar español. And I failed my first high school Spanish test, you guys. I was devastated. I was mortified. I was horrified. All the things. And I'm so glad that I didn't even tell my friends I spoke Spanish, right? Like I was just, it was my own surprise. And the fact that I was starting to see that this is the way that they're teaching Spanish, it made me start to question even my own identity, even my own legacy of being Afro-Latina, right? And I said, well, if I can't pass a Spanish test, then something is wrong with me, right? Because I know how to speak this language, but they're telling me I don't even know it because I don't know how to read it and I don't know how to write it and I don't know the accents, I don't know verb conjugations. And so nunca me dijo mi papá, nunca me dijo eso. He never said, mija, tiene que saber todos esos verbos antes de que hablar en español, right? Nunca, Joel, did he ever say that to me? And so I'm going on this journey, my own personal journey, and I go and I get the degrees, right? I major in Spanish literature. I learn about Don Quixote and Isabel Allende and do all of those things. And I figure out that people are learning this language in a way that is to focus on grammar, to focus on verb conjugations, but it's hiding the behind the way that the Spanish is made, right? So we're having these grammar wars and we're saying to ourselves, well, ¿cómo es la diferencia? ¿Qué es la diferencia de saber y conocer, right? What's the difference between to know and to know, right? ¿Cuál es la diferencia de ser y estar, right? The difference between to be and to be. All of these things are stopping us from learning the language. So our learning language industry has set us up to just stay right there, keep learning, keep studying, and stay in that book, right? Stay in that app. My goal is to free you, okay, Andrea? My goal is to free you from that, to now finally build your confidence and speak this language with authority, with confidence, and knowing what you're saying and why you're saying what you're saying. Is this making sense to you guys? See? Oh, see. Put it in the comment section right now if you're like, oh my gosh, I've never heard this before. You're speaking my language right now, okay? Because I don't know. I'm still on the language app and I'm on the 100th level and I'm still not fluent in Spanish, right? So I want to highlight Dr. Vanya. She was sharing with us earlier. Go ahead and unmute your mic right now. Tell us a little bit about your journey with the Spanish learning way that I've taught you just in the last few weeks. You've been connected with us. What were you saying to the rest of the class?
That I am finding a lot more confidence with speaking freely. I have dozens of apps, dozens of books. I've listened to different podcasts and I have hundreds of notes that I write a lot. Despite my family being able to speak, and we don't, they're here, they speak English. But being in a part of Fluency University, I have a forum where I can exchange with other community members and to touch bases with you. The resources that you provide, they're very well structured and easy to follow. And of late, you provided Destinos, a series on YouTube, and I just with it, and it's so easy to follow. The understanding was never an issue for me. It's just actually spitting it out, using what I've collected. And so I like that they check in with you at the end of each segment for comprehension. They ask little quizzes, so it's a great little series. So if you want to watch it, it will definitely benefit you.
I love that. Thank you, Dr. Vanya. Let's give her a hand, you guys, for her progression in Espanol. Amazing. Destinos, if you guys are looking for a resource, it's on YouTube. It's absolutely free. It's like a telenovela. It's like a soap opera, but in Spanish, but they actually slow it down, okay, so that you can understand. I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys have access to that. And that'll help you to start listening a little bit better and following along with how a natural script sounds with speaking Spanish, right? Which is something that she said she had a little bit of struggle with. So thank you, Dr. Vanya. And I'm so glad to hear that Fluency U is starting to help you realize these small little gaps, right, in your fluency journey. So muchas gracias, muchas gracias. All right, I want to give a shout out to those that are on our live right now. We have those right here inside of our TikTok world. Bienvenidos, welcome to our Fluency Friday. I'm so excited you're helping us move to that next level. Hit the plus sign right now and be a part of the largest fluency movement worldwide. We have close to 700,000 followers here on this platform at TikTok. And I'm just bringing Spanish the easy way, okay? Without the verb conjugations, the grammar rules, all the things. So go ahead and hit that plus sign. Make sure you comment below why you want to learn Spanish and come join this movement. Don't forget the link in my bio to get connected into our Fluency U community. Back to you guys. So Zoom, you guys, shout out to Andrea, Ajay, Adriana. Is that like Adriana? Let me know if that's you, Adriana, because I did have a student in the code. No way, you guys. You got to come to the floor. You got to speak. You got to say how this has changed your life, Adriana. Adriana Whittington, she is one of our alumni from our 90-day program that we offer, where you can get fluent for your job, for travel, for family with friends. So Adriana, díganos. I'm going to go ahead and highlight you right now, Mama. So good to see you. It's been a minute since I've been able to see you.
I know.
Here we are. Aquí estamos, right?
It's been good, but like you say, always, if you don't use it over time, you lose it. That's where I'm at, sadly. It's been a while since I've been using it, but when I was so confident. I was so happy. I love how I was able to communicate my patients as well as understand them. It brought me joy and it brought them joy. It was amazing feeling. I was even teaching my coworker. She wanted to learn, so I was like teaching her. Like I was speaking.
Oh my gosh.
Like try to understand me. Yeah, I was like passing it on to other people.
What? I love that for you. Well, you're jumping right into our fluency flow. Make sure you get into our Skool community. Share your story. I do highlight you in there. So share your story. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in here if you guys are excited about learning Spanish the easy way. This is our free Skool app that we have where we can interact. We have amazing learners in there. Over 1,200 amigos inside of there in the last 2 months that have joined. Okay, so come join the movement. Come do your homework. It's due Sunday by midnight. Okay, every single week. So you can practice. Get in the game, Adriana, and let's get going. So I'm so excited for you. And look at you guys. This is what it's all about. We're building a tribe here. Adriana, I haven't seen her, what, a year and a half? And here we are. Okay, live right now, in person. Oh, well, not in person, but you know what I'm saying, virtually. But Adriana, you are an amazing jewel into our fluency movement. And I'm so glad that I had a chance to actually pour into you in this beautiful language. So thanks for sharing your testimony. All right, you guys. Well, let me go back to my list here because we're still in the Zoom, okay? Some of you guys are excited about learning, but I have to just let you know I see you. I hear you. I feel your pain. I know the struggles of what it's like to speak Spanish and freeze up. So Angela's here, and we have Anthony with it. We have Ashley with us. We have, let's show some love in the chat, you guys, when I say the name. Dave is with us. Debbie's with us. Dr. Vanya's with us. Fred is with us. Haley's with us. I just had an amazing call with Haley. We were speaking Spanish together. And I loved it. I love her heart and her desire to speak to her suegra, you guys, to speak to her husband's family in Spanish. It's so beautiful. I love that. So glad you're with us. Jewel is with us. Kelly, one of our fluency fans is Kelly Willis. When you see her in the Skool Fluency U, you're just going to be amazed. Her Spanish is so good, you guys. It's so good. She's doing an amazing job. So definitely look out for Kelly when she's encouraging you in your work. Leslie is with us. Millicent is with us. Okay, nice to Chantalise, I see her all the time in our lives. Chantalise, so good to see you. Tanya, I want to say Tanya is with us and Willow is with us. So bienvenidos. We have 20 deep inside of our Zoom right now. Let's get started with our class. And let's go to that next level. ¿Quién está listo? Who is ready? Because I'm ready to go over today's lecture to so many of you guys that are excited to learn with me. So, you know, I got a PowerPoint, me and my PowerPoints. because I do have some visual learners that are like, you could be speaking Spanish to me all day and I don't understand a word you're saying, okay? But if you are a visual learner, this is for you, okay? Because I see you. And if you're on the TikTok, I'm so sorry you can't see this, but come join us in our Zoom. If you're part of our fluency community, you're more than welcome to get on in and get connected. I will approve you to come on into our Skool app and you'll get the link right there via Zoom inside of our app, okay? So I see some of you guys are pending, so I'm gonna go ahead and let Angela in right now because I see you popping on in. But today we're going to talk a little bit about how to stop freezing in conversations. How many of you guys have felt that way? Where you're like a deer caught in headlights, you're saying to yourself, oh man, right? Dave's like, yep, that's me. They start speaking and all of a sudden I just forget everything I studied, right? I don't know what's happening, right? Well, this free Fluency Friday class with me is going to help build your confidence, have you speak with flow, and just be yourself in Espanol. Okay, that's the goal. I'm not trying to change you, Andrea, Jewel. I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to bring you over into the Spanish world and say the same thing you would say in English, but now we're just going to say it in Spanish. Yeah.
Sí, sí, sí.
Okay, bueno. So I need you to understand, why do we freeze? When you understand a thing, right? When you understand the why behind it, then you can get over the hurdle of that challenge. So the first one, if you can relate to fear of making mistakes, if that's you, put it in the comment section. You're like, yep, I freeze because I just don't want to make any mistakes. I want to like sound perfect, okay? When it comes out of my mouth, right? If that's you, just put fear in the comment section. If you're watching via TikTok, you can comment as well on that discussion. The second one, translating in your head. Is that you? Like you're saying, okay, I know this in English. I know how to say this in English, but I don't know how to translate that into Spanish. If you're trying to always translate something, then that is definitely a reason why you freeze. Another reason could be not knowing what to say, right? You could just say, oh my gosh, okay, I know what you're saying. Well, how do I respond back to you, right? If that's you, not knowing what to say, put that in the comment section right now. We're going to tackle that right now because some of you guys struggle with not knowing what to say next. And then the last one that I see so many with my students is the lack of real life practice. We know time and time again that if you got a bike, okay, a brand new bike, and you're looking at this bike, your goal is to ride the bike, right? And you don't know how to ride it yet. But if you're looking at the spokes inside of on the bike, if you're looking at the bell and you're ringing it and you're like, oh, okay, right? And you're just dissecting the bike, are you going to get to your destination, Dave? Are we going on a ride in our bike? No, right? We have to get on the bike. Okay, we've got to get on the bicicleta. We've got to actually start riding the bike to figure out how we're not balancing right, how we're not moving to the left and moving to the right. So the same with Spanish. Tenemos que hablar en español para que podamos ver los errores, right? We have to see what are those mistakes that we're making so we can learn from those mistakes. So I just want you to know that I see you, I hear you. You guys can take a deep breath right now and realize that you're in a safe space, okay? You're in a safe space to be yourself here in Spanish world, okay? Because you're not alone. We're going to fix this today, okay? So let's go about it. Now, I want you to think about your mind first and how we need to shift that. So you don't need perfect Spanish to connect. If that's something you've believed for a very long time, you've said that to yourself, like, you know what? I have to just study all of these verb conjugations. I just have to do all the things in order to be fluent, right? I want you to shift that and not say that to yourself internally. Focus on connection and not perfection. And then making sure that you practice. And that is what equals progress. Even if it feels messy and it's making mistakes all over the place, all right? Just know that that is perfectly normal, okay? So this is one of those things that you probably can relate to, right? Where we have a real life trigger moment where someone asks you what, ¿Cómo estás? And you're like, I know I speak Spanish and they're asking me how I'm doing. Do you freeze or do you default to bien, gracias? Do you say that? Bien, gracias. Put it in the comment section if that's you. You're like, yeah, that's me. I say bien, gracias, because you're like wanting to say something, but you default, right? There's this default mode. You know, when you start to learn a program, right? And you tell the phone to do certain things, there's always a default. If there's a debit card or credit card, right? There's the default card that's in place to where automatically it goes there. So in language learning, you will always default to what you have been accustomed to or comfortable with. So bien gracias is something that is very common to say after ¿Cómo estás? But we're going to change that today. Okay. Are you guys ready? Because I want to share with you guys some ways we can make this better. So we're going to level up your responses. Okay. Instead of saying bien gracias, I want you to say something like this. Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Okay. And I want you to say it with like energía. I want you to say it with energy. I want you to be excited that you're speaking Spanish and you're doing something a little bit different. All right. So say it with me. Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Muy bien. Awesome. Okay. Now the second one here is you want to talk a little bit. So that one is, you know, all is well. Thanks. And you? That's what you're saying. Okay. The second one is, you know, I'm tired. Right? So that's what you're saying. That's like the translation of what you're saying here. Now, if you're a male like Dave, you would say un poco cansado, okay? Or if you're female like Jewel, you would say un poco cansada. Un poco cansada. So you change the A and the O based on who you identify as, okay? And then we say the pero contenta or pero contento, depending on the gender, right? So I just want to make sure you're aware of that when you're speaking. Now, as you're saying those, you can even go to another level and you can say something like this, a whole phrase. Who wants to challenge themselves today with saying a whole phrase and sound like a native? You ready? Because you're going to say this. You're going to say, estoy emocionada por el fin de semana, because this is the truth right now. Who's excited and who's happy about this weekend coming up? Because I know I am. I love weekends. I don't know about you, but this is how you would say it. If you're on Thursday, if you're on Friday, right? And you're like, I'm excited about the weekend. How about you, right? So if you're male, you would say, estoy emocionado por el fin de semana, or estoy emocionada por el fin de semana. Okay. And then another phrase you can say that's really good, because guess what we're doing? We're going back into the past. Okay. Just like that movie, Back in the Future. You guys remember that movie? Okay. We're going back in the past. And a lot of people struggle with this because they're like, I don't know how to do verb tenses and all the things. Guess what? I'm spoon feeding you right now, Andrea. You see this? I'm giving you the answers to the test, okay? You don't have to think about it. All you have to say is, ha sido un día largo, pero aquí estoy, right? It's been a long day, but I'm here. Who wants to say that one? I think that's just a fun phrase that you can add to your phrase responses. When someone asks you, ¿Cómo estás? You could automatically say to them, you could be like, ha sido un día largo, pero estoy aquí, right? Like this is right here. This is where you start to see the magic happens, where people are like, ¿Cómo aprendiste eso? Like, how did you learn that, right? And I love, love, love all of these options. So we're going to practice because we want to know that that brings the progress. And you're going to say them out loud with me. All right. Okay. It's going to be a little chaos for a minute, but I don't care. I want everyone, every single one of you guys, unless you're at work, Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself. And we're now gonna practice these phrases together. All right, here we go. Número uno. Everybody unmute. I don't care if the baby's crying. We're all gonna, okay, that's what's happening right now. All right, here we go. Ready? Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Todo bien.
Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Perfecto. Muy bien. I'm gonna give you some love. Let's go. Let's go. If you're here on the Zoom, you get to see the love. You get to see it. Here we go. Let me see here. Let me make sure I have it. Do I have it? Okay, I have to do it not when I'm, okay, I can't, I'm sorry. You can't get my balloons, my globos, you can't get my corazones. We'll do it after, okay? But I love being able to share that with you guys on the Zoom. All right, so let's go back here because we need to make sure that you guys are understanding that that is one phrase we can say. Put in the chat right now if you're doing number one, número uno, if you're gonna try that one. Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Who's gonna say that? ¿Quién va a practicar eso? Dígame. All right, I see the chat blowing up. Yes. All right, número dos. You guys ready for this phrase? TikTokers, if you're hanging out with us, go ahead and put the phrase inside of the chat right now. Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Muy bien. All right, this next one. Depending on what you are, I'm going to say from a female perspective, I am going to say, un poco cansada, pero contenta. Do you hear how I'm breaking it down? Do you hear how I'm slowing myself down to enjoy the language? Yes? I'm not like a robot. I'm not like, un poco cansada, right? Like we're not sounding like a robot. We're literally fluides, right? We're fluently saying this to where we're slowing ourselves down and saying, un poco cansada, pero contenta. And there's body language with that, right? You're starting to slow yourself down and then say how it's making you happy. Yeah? All right, let's practice that one together. Ready? Un poco cansada.
Un poco cansada,
Contenta.
pero contenta.
Put in the chat right now who's going to be using that one. Who's gonna use that one? Dígame. That's it. That's it. Muy bien. I see them popping up. You're going to use that one. All right. Number three, número tres. Put number two if you're going to use two. Put number one if you're going to use one. Number three, número tres. Okay. It's talking about the weekend. Here we go. Estoy emocionada por el fin de semana. Say it with me. Okay.
Estoy
Estoy
emocionada
por
el fin de
semana.
Muy bien. Muy bien. All right, let's do this last one here because this is talking about something in the past, which is the day, right? The day that has gone by. So ha sido, and the H has it does not speak Spanish, okay? When you start the H in Spanish, it doesn't have a sound. So let's pretend that the H isn't even there, okay? So you're gonna say, ha sido un día largo, pero estoy aquí, okay? Let's say it together.
Ha sido un día largo, pero estoy aquí.
Muy bien. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Who's gonna use number four? Because that one is fire, right? It's go. When I tell you, you are going straight up in the past, okay? And what we say in English is, it has been a long day. You know how we say has been, right? It has been a long day, but I'm here, right? I'm here. Is this making sense to you, you guys? We can change the narrative. We can change the default phrase of, if somebody asks you, ¿Cómo estás? You can actually say one of these phrases, todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Un poco cansada, pero contenta. Do you hear how I'm just saying it? Like just whatever, right? Estoy emocionada por el fin de semana. Ha sido un día largo, pero aquí estoy, right? Like put your DNA in it. Put who you are inside of these phrases, right? Because that's what's really going to translate to the person you're saying it to. All right. Is this fun or is this fun? Now, this is the practice time that we just did right now. You're going to write your own version of what you want to say based on the 4 that I gave you, okay? And I want you to share in the comments or even with an amigo today. I want you to start speaking this language by saying those things. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to say, ¿Cómo estás? And then I want one of you guys here in our Zoom to actually practice with me, saying one of those ones in your own version of what you want to say to the group, okay? So everybody knows how you're responding. All right, so who's gonna be my volunteer today? ¿Quién quiere practice? Oh, wait, hold on. Remember, you got to say something because I only see your, well, actually, I'll
do it. I'll do it.
Okay, I'll do it so I can see you.
Yeah, this me, this Fred.
Frederico. Okay, let's go, Frederico. Dígame, ¿cómo estás?
So I should say, right?
Which one are you gonna say out of the 4 that
I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay. All right, no worries. Okay, no te preocupes, nada. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share one more time and you can read it, okay? You can read it. Let's go back to it so you can see here. Aquí estamos. Ok, aquí están las frases. Mira las frases aquí. Todo bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Un poco cansado, pero contento. Estoy emocionada por el fin de semana. Ha sido el día largo, pero estoy aquí. Which one of those are you going to say? ¿Cómo estás?
Ha sido un día largo, pero aquí estoy.
Oh, Frederico, you're amazing.
Is that how you say that AQUI aquí?
That's right. You said it. Aquí. Say it with me. Aquí.
Aquí.
Aquí. Muy bien. I'm going to put it in the chat right now so you can visually see it. Okay. Because that is what's fire right there. And then key, like you have in English. You see that? Aquí. You guys see that? So that when you see the QUI, just know it's like a key, like we open up a door, that kind of key. Okay. So you see how the English into the Spanish for you to understand. Yes.
And that one's saying it's been a long day, right?
That's right. It's been a long day, but okay. And make sure you have to smile with it, or like a smirk, so laugh at it, okay? When you do it. All right, let's give Federico a hand. Okay, all right. Now, let's go back to what we were saying here. So we look at how we learn our phrases. As you can see, I light up when I'm teaching this because I know Spanish is easy. Right? Like I speak Spanish. I don't study it anymore. I've got the degrees right behind me. I've got the bachelor's, I've got the master's, I've got all the things that show me the mechanics of the linguistics of the language, but that's not the important part of speaking the language. So my goal is to help you by you coming, just like Dave came last Friday. Guess what? Seeing Dave again makes me smile because he's showing up, okay? Fluency Friday. So guess what's going to happen? Okay, he's gonna get the fluency bug. It's gonna bite him, okay? So I love that. And I want you to practice the few phrases each day that I give you, okay? This is like gold for you in the fluency world, are the phrases. I don't want you to focus on just words. I want you to focus on the phrases and start implementing that in real life. And get the support from the community that I've created, okay? This is for you. It's not for me, okay? I've created over 1,200 amigos that are wanting to learn Spanish, just like you, in the same boat like you, and they are practicing their Spanish and having so many wins and milestones happening in that community. So for those that are excited and ready to go to that next level, I'm telling you, you got to get connected. You need more help? You like what you're experiencing with me? This was just a little taste of what it's like to be in my world, to be in a class with me, to be in our Fluency Fridays for free, to be in our VIP where you get that extra bonus of that help. You slide into my DMs, right? And you just, have a conversation with me in Espanol, right? And so for those that are ready to go to that next level, go ahead and put Fluent inside of the comment section right now. If you're watching via TikTok right now, go ahead and go to the link in my bio. Somebody grab that link. I'll put it inside and pin it inside of our chat that we have right now. because some of you guys are really ready to get into that next level, into our Fluency U, okay? Fluency University was created just for you to be able to get weekly homework, for you to practice, for you to upload your audio file, for me to listen. I listen to you guys' homework. I listen to how you're pronouncing the words. If it sounds really good, I say, excelente, muy bien. I say all the things. But if you need a little help, I give you some practical tips of how to change your pronunciation of how you're practicing it, okay? And then also too, we have so many fluencers. These are people that are inside of the community encouraging you. They're your biggest cheerleaders when you start posting your homework each and every week, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put in the chat right now the link that I put in earlier. And this is the link to our Fluency U community, okay? What we're doing is we're building up the largest fluency movement here because we just cannot depend on social media platforms right now, right? We have to build ourselves up and build the community and keep moving forward regardless of what's going on around us, okay? And so if this excites you and you're like, that must give me some more, then come to our Skool. Make sure that you download the Skool app so that you can get updates and announcements every single week. When I drop that homework, you will be one of the first to receive that homework right away and get her done, okay? So let's go. Let's get you to that next level together. And I can't wait to see you guys on the other side of fluency. How did you guys enjoy this time together to experience Spanish at a whole different level than what you've experienced before? Go ahead, unmute your mic. Let's talk about it. Vamos a hablar un poco sobre eso. Go ahead.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. That's all we need to say. Okay, but Jill, who's that? Who was that?
It was Joel.
Jill, I'm so glad to see you. Did you just Did you just join our community?
Yes, I did.
Okay, awesome. What's an aha moment?
An aha moment for me is to like stop second guessing myself and just say it, because I found like they'll correct you, like, you know, if they're like, oh, she's really trying, you know, like, okay, just say it like this. So
yes, and then they help you, right? Along
yeah. Tú sabes, you know this, tú sabes, tú sabes.
Yeah, tú sabes, mira. I love it. Okay, I mean your mic. Who else wants to talk?
I want to know how to pronounce my name in Spanish.
Who is that? And talking. I'm so sorry. It doesn't pop up as
It'd probably say D, but it's Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Dawn is Dawn. Dawn.
Oh, it stays the same. Okay. Because I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's a long phrase. I wonder if that's right for the name or just for the because of the day, you know.
¿Sabes qué? Es tan fácil. Okay, so you would just say, me llamo Dawn, like this. Okay. But you know what? I would put a little flair on there. If you are seasoned age, okay, so this is what you would say, me llamo Dawn. But if you're of seasoned age, we can say, me llamo Doña. Doña is like almost like how we just respect our elders too, right? Doña, Doña, whatever. Like, so I think that's a great way to speak.
I'm getting there, but I'm not doing it quite yet.
Well, we're just gonna stay with Dawn then, okay? Me llamo Dawn, okay?
I already just became a grandma 2 days ago, so I'm not ready to get the name with it.
Not yet. Okay, felicidades for being an abuela. How about that? Abuela.
Felicidades.
Thank you.
Qué bueno. I love that. I love the babies. All right, thanks for sharing, Don. ¿Quién más quiere compartir? Who wants to share?
I'll share.
Okay, who's that?
Hi, Antonio.
Antonio, ¿cómo estás, Antonio?
Muy bien, muy bien. Es mi primero lectura, pero es muy buen. Y un problema para mí es, it's like basically like I like to joke and like humor. And I think one thing I kind of learned today was that if I want to say something, it's best to like learn, you know, how I want to joke in Spanish. It's just like the same person, you know? So yeah, it was really cool.
Antonio,
So,
I love that
gracias.
for you. I love that for you. I love how you're practicing Spanish and you're starting to realize that Antonio is all we need. We need Antonio in English. We need Antonio in Espanol, right? So
Y
you're
por
the same
supuesto.
person. Isn't that comforting, right? To know you're not changing into anybody else. Like you are who you are, and we need you to bring that over into our world, right? In the fluency world.
Eso es correcto. Gracias.
Qué bueno. Felicidades for that aha moment. All right, you guys, who else would like to share?
How do I say it was dope? I liked it.
Oh, did you guys hear that? It's dope. Okay, the fluency movement is dope. Tell us, why is it so dope? And who am I speaking to right now?
Fred.
Frederico. All right, díganos, Frederico, why is this Fluency Friday like an aha moment for you? What is changing within you right now of how you approach language learning?
I've been liked it. I used to work at a slaughterhouse around a lot of Hispanic people, you know, from all different parts. And the ladies that I worked with, they kind of taught me Spanish at one point in time, but I forgot it.
Yeah.
And I guess I understood it. I always understood how to, like, from the spelling and everything, how to say it. But it seems like it comes easier when you're talking to someone actually, like.
I love that for you. I love that. So you realize the importance of speaking it, right, Federico?
Yeah.
And that's all that I'm doing is just re-emphasizing that you have the ability to really change the way that you approach language learning with fluency by speaking. Thank you so much. Let's give them a hand, you guys. I want to give every single one of you guys some love with mis corazones. Here you go. Corazones. Corazones.
Corazones.
Okay, Dee Dee's like, where's the link for the VIP? All right, I love this. So those that are excited and you're like, I need more of this, okay? And I want it at a different level because right now I am really struggling. I'm the struggle bus. I'm in the struggle bus. And if that's you, you're saying to yourself, I need to have a community. I want to go to that next level. I want to be able to connect with others that are speaking Spanish, that we have a moment to share our thoughts and go to a place to where we're starting to see results. So if that's you, I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the VIP. This is $97 a month that you get to invest in your fluency journey. So I'm going to go ahead and put that link inside of the chat right now. You guys, only those that are in Zoom have access to this. No one inside of our Facebook group at this moment has access. You guys have first dibs to come into my world inside of our Fluency University VIP Fluencers. This right here is where the rubber meets the road. You're literally having your homework, you're going over phrases for your world, and you're starting to see results. So here you go. Here is the link. Go ahead and click on this. $97 a month, best $97 you can spend, because not only once will you get the bi-weekly with me via Zoom, just like you're experiencing right now, but you'll also have access to me inside of your DMs on the Skool app. We can go over phrases for your world, and you're starting to see this is really happening for me. Confidence is being built up, and you have this community that's like none other. So come join the Fluency Movement, where you can now go to that next level and start to see that Spanish is easy, that you can do this. Tú puedes hablar en español. And this is a safe space for you to do it without the judgment, without the verb conjugations, without the grammar rules. And now it's your time to do so. So go ahead and click on that link that you see inside of the chat, and we will get you set up so that you're ready for our next class next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. East Coast time. You do not want to miss it, because guess what we're doing? We're building up our conversation together as a community. Can you imagine coming into a Zoom room y estamos hablando en español por 10 minutos? Like, we're speaking Spanish for 10 minutes. Totally, everybody's speaking Spanish. Like, that's what we are creating in our community. Yes? Who's excited? Dave's like, VIP me right now. I need to get in.
No, I have a question. Maybe you can answer it later outside of it, but my scheduling, I work nights, and I don't know if you have other options for different days or what.
Yeah, so that is our time that we have. It's going to be 7:30 East Coast time, because I want to cater to my East Coast people, but you're more than welcome to watch the replays. They're always available to you. And you also have access to me on the when we're not in class. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So you have that, you can book a call with me, a fluency strategy call. We go over your fluency roadmap for you specifically, Dave, right? And that gives you the roadmap of how we're going to get you from not really feeling confident and freezing up to becoming fluent in Spanish. Does that help you, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that question. All right, you guys. Well, this is the end of our Fluency Friday. I know I don't want to leave either, but ¿sabes qué? You gotta go practice, okay? You get out this class, okay? Class is over. And I want you to now practice your español con las personas que hablan español, okay? Go ahead and do any of those 4 phrases we went over today, and then come back into our school app and tell us all about it. We want to know how that was for you, okay? All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. Que tengan un buen día y nos vemos en la próxima clase de Fluency Friday. Adiós now. Take care.
Yes.
Adiós.
Adiós, que
Adiós.
bueno.
Yes, que tengan un buen día. I love it. Go, vamos, vamos, vamos. See you guys on the other side.
Adios, Professor Chris. Thank you.
Adiós. De nada. No hay de qué. Adiós.
Adiós.